show, everyone. It's hot out there. I mean, it's a little cool, but it's hot out there. And when it's hot out there, you know what happens a lot is fires. I'm really excited about bringing on my first guest. I do want to say hi to everybody out there. We are live on Facebook, so hi. Like us and follow us. We're going to share the show later on. My first guest is Mike Salazar, and he is the owner of Pass Fire Protection. Welcome back to the show. You've been on my show. You know, the last time you were on my show, because I always keep my first papers, right? And you always see them. You were sitting here, get up right up on that end, so everybody can hear you. That I was saying, I don't remember how long, and you kind of reminded me of something that on my I always keep everybody's first piece of paper that I write all over all these little notes. And when is yours from? 2019.
Yep, July. Almost
July.
Exactly.
Wow, it's a long time ago. You've been coming on my show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mike, I want you to tell everybody about what PASS represents, Pass Fire Protection, and a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, first of all, you know, we named ourselves PASS after the acronym to use fire extinguishers. Thought it'd be kind of a play on words. So, you know, P for pull, A for aim, S for squeeze, and S for sweep. So sometimes people don't really get that, which is interesting because you think in this industry you would know what pass means, but then sometimes it's like, pass what? What are you going to pass? You're going to promise everybody they pass?
Pass the test.
Yeah, it's like, no, we're not promising nothing. We just thought it would be cool.
I love it.
It's interesting how many people don't like pick up on it right away until you tell them.
Right, you have to tell them on that because not everybody does know exact. Though here's the first reason why to be on here, because nobody knows how to use a fire extinguisher, and that is what those words mean. Again, repeat them. P is for pull.
A is for aim. S is for squeeze, and S is for sweep. And you're right. A lot of people, they think they know how to use extinguishers, but they really don't. You really need to actually get your hands on it and do it to understand it. You can watch somebody do it and think it's easy, but I watch people all the time do things, and I go and try and attempt them. It never works out for me.
Right, especially when you're scared and you're nervous, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
your adrenaline is going. Let me tell you something, and most people don't know even how to do that correctly, so what happens is it gets worse instead of better.
Yep.
I do want to do this. We're going to open up the lines to the audience. First of all, I want you to know that there's fire extinguishers, and then there's fire extinguishers. And you're going to offer for everybody to get entered in to win a fire extinguisher. I know that sounds like, oh wow, whoopity-boo, but guess what? It can save your life.
Oh, absolutely, and they're great to have. I mean, I know they're not the prettiest things, but when you need it, you're going to be glad that you have it.
Right.
We just did some extinguisher training this last week, and you'd be amazed at how many people didn't know what they were doing and they thought they did, and then now they're more comfortable. Even the weight of them. Sometimes people don't understand how much they really weigh. They don't look like they're that heavy, but you go and try to pull it off a wall or pick it up off the ground or something, and it's a little bit heavier than you think.
Yeah, and also your fire extinguisher is different than the ones that you're going to go and buy at the little store and have it so that it's under your sink. Yours is a little bit different.
Yeah, ours are made to be serviced, where some of the ones that you can get for a better price, they're going to be more of a plastic type that you won't be able to get serviced.
They're going to melt in the fire, let me just say.
Melt, yeah. But if you ever do use them, you're going to have to throw them away and get a new one. But that's why they try to make them less expensive. But ours, is something that you're going to be able to service for a long time. So if you ever use it, it can be refilled. It can go through its maintenances to make sure it's still going to be good. See, those plastic ones, nobody wants to break them apart because they're going to not be able to put them back together just right. And so how are you going to know if that powder is right? How are you going to know you have enough powder in there? There's things that you want to know about your extinguisher so that it'll work when you want it to work, that you want to have the right type of extinguisher for that. So
we're going to leave our lines open here for the rest of the show for everybody to get entered in to win. It's a fire extinguisher. And our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Now you will actually help people understand how to use them, correct?
Correct, yeah, because you hand somebody something and they don't know how to use it. It's just
worthless.
Not having it. Exactly.
Yeah, and so you can check him out on his website. It's PASS, P-A-S-S, fireprotection.com. He does work statewide. He's rated with the Better Business Bureau. You can call him direct. The number is 602-833-9117. We have got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win a fire extinguisher. I know it doesn't seem like a cool thing, but you know, as you're going to listen to this show, you're going to realize how cool it really is. I want to tell you that just the other day, I happened to be listening to the news, and I believe it was Mesa, I'm not exactly sure where. And there was a big house fire that, actually I think it's the one where the firemen not lost their life, but they got hurt, okay? And from what I remember, and don't 100%, but I'm almost positive, that it was from a barbecue.
Oh, I'm
It started
sure.
from a barbecue.
Yeah.
Because the barbecue went on fire, and I guess it was close to the house or something like that. And the next thing you know, that house went down. I think the whole thing, I'm not sure. It looked pretty charred as far as I was concerned.
And that's what we talked about in the past too, is like placement of the barbecue. People always have it, or not always, I shouldn't say, but a lot of the times they have it right next to their house because it's covered, it's comfortable, it's easy to get to. But being that close, yes, you could catch your house on fire. If you don't have the extinguisher, if they did have an extinguisher, they would have been able to, react pretty quick. But if you don't, then hit your house and then just spreads from there.
And if you think they don't happen very often, they do. Because I even know somebody personally that fire, the barbecue, it blew up.
Yeah.
And you know what? It scared him. Thank God he didn't get hurt that badly, but he did get hurt.
Well, that's why even your propane tanks have to go through maintenance. If you keep your own and you always get it charged, after a certain amount of years, they're going to make you have to do a hydrostatic test on that to make sure it's going to be able to hold the pressure. But if you're always exchanging them, then they're doing that behind the scenes, so you're always going to get one. But if you have an old tank, there's a possibility that thing could rupture on you.
Wow, and it's so scary because it's so hot.
Yes.
I mean, oh my gosh, you guys, how can we not think that more doesn't happen? We're lucky it doesn't. But to being prepared, and that's what you're all about, is being prepared.
Yes.
But more than anything, not only being prepared, having the right equipment that works and that you know how to use it.
Yes, that's important. If you have that extinguisher there, you don't know how to use it, you're still in the same situation.
Exactly. So he's offering for everyone to get entered into win. They have special fire extinguishers. They're different than the ones that you're just going to buy that are cheap and cheerful. They're going to last. Number one, they're going to last.
Yes.
They're going to get serviced. You're going to know that they have everything that they need inside, and we're going to talk a little bit about what that is in a minute, but I just want to get it out. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. That's what PASS is an acronym for.
Right.
And I want to talk about how people, like sometimes they've had them for years, right? And they've never done anything with them, especially those little ones, right?
Correct.
And then
they're not going to be usable when you need them, or if you even remember where they're at. We get that question all the time when we do trainings, like, oh, I have these at my house. Or they'll bring them over. Most of the time they're either discharged, they're super out of date, the chemical could be hard in it, they're missing the pull pin. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going wrong with it.
now you don't have to say that. You can get yourself entered in to win one here. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk further about this, because you know what? Where else? I love this show. But on Networking Arizona, are you going to hear about stuff like this? That's what I love about my show. And you never know what you're going to hear. And right now we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win. It's a terrific fire extinguisher. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Hang tight. We're going to be back in just a minute. We're going to keep on going because we're live in the room, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if a lot of people realize is that people on your radio show are all local too. They're not national companies that you're hearing from, or like a lot of advertisement might be from national companies.
Oh yeah, no, we have a lot that are national that are, and I've had a couple people on my show like that where I do have people that work nationally. That might be licensed in other states. I've even had called other people, other states, like direct IRAs, people like that do that kind of thing, that will come on because they call in from another state and they do it national, they do it here, because we are heard of not only all of Arizona, but part of California, New Mexico, Colorado,
Oh, wow.
Utah, Nevada on the radio, and then we're streamed live around the world on the web. So people hear us all the time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, from all over.
Yeah, I thought you guys were just Arizona.
No, oh no. This
Oh.
is a 50,000 watt station.
Oh.
So it is the furthest reach that you can get.
Oh, okay, I never knew what any of that meant.
Yeah.
You hear it all the time.
Yeah. It means that we are the largest reach that you can get,
Oh.
and it is all of Arizona, and then part of California, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Nevada, and then stream live around the world on the
Yeah.
web.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I did that lottery. You have those people that come here that you can
Yeah.
book in. I've done that a couple times.
Yeah.
I never won, but
Well, it doesn't.
But
It's
yeah.
but it's less money.
less money, yeah, and you have a better chance.
Yes.
funny.
I don't know that they're not saying that you're gonna win, but they're
Yeah.
making it more chances.
Yeah. Well, I was
And
just hoping I
office-
would win, then I wouldn't have to come in here anymore.
I don't blame you.
Retired,
I would
know?
exactly. For me too. I would love that. Yeah, that's the thing about all that stuff. Though that with them, they, they did make affordable for sure. So that part's nice.
Yeah.
But still, that's another thing.
Yep.
What are the chances, right?
I know, and then you hear people that do it twice. They're like, oh, they won twice. I'm like, how do?
How does that happen?
Yeah.
I know.
Some
Yeah.
people just seem to win, and others seem like they don't win at all.
And you know what else about them? After they win, no more than maybe 3 years max, they're broke again.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't know how to manage it.
Yep. No, they said that, like, we could give everybody the same amount of money, and then within 5 years, the rich would still be rich and the poor would be poor because of knowing how to manage
Exactly.
money or
Make it work.
invest it. Yeah.
Make it work.
Yep.
Exactly.
Oh, for sure.
Crazy, huh? Yeah.
So it's been almost, what, 5 years exactly, because this is August, that was July.
Can you imagine?
No, it goes by too fast.
Even this, look at this, that was 15 minutes and that doesn't feel,
Yeah.
but remember, it's really 12.
Yeah.
So we're talking away in here, and I didn't see the light go on because we're having so much time. That's another thing, of course, after somebody's been on the show, Mike, we were just saying here that 5 years, almost exactly, that he's been coming on the show. Of course, we become friendly, and of course, we're sitting there talking away,
Yeah.
and then of course the show is starting, and I don't even realize it. So here we are. We're talking with Mike Salazar. He's the owner of Pass Fire Protection. We have our lines open here for everyone, and you can call throughout the rest of the show. It's a fire extinguisher, folks, and let me just tell you something. When you get his, you're going to be so happy that you have it. So call in here. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. And you could also check him out on his website. It's PASS, P-A-S-S, which stands for Pull, Aim, Sweep. I'm sorry, Pull, Aim, Squeeze, and Sweep. It wouldn't really matter on that one, but I like that way you said it. Fire protection, and so it's passfireprotection.com. I want to talk a little bit about, people up there on their boats right now, fires can happen, even though you're in the water.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, even campfires, right? Nobody probably takes extinguishers with them with campfires. I think maybe smother them or whatever.
And you're right there by a campfire.
Yeah. And how many forest fires have we seen?
Oh,
Not that
gosh.
they're caused by campfires, but
Right.
I mean, you're seeing these forest fires start up all over. But you're right, a boat, a fire, cooking. There's so many places that we have fire or some sort of fuel. We always have oxygen. Oxygen's around us all the time. So as long as you have oxygen, you have fuel, all you need is that heat, and then you got a fire.
You ought to have more than one hanging around, because you should definitely have one by your barbecue, in your office probably, in your garage, right? That's obviously the kitchen, right? But the reason too, I mean, I know somebody they were sleeping, and that garage, it went on fire, something happened, and whoosh, it was like in 2 seconds engulfed, and then you know what? The whole house went down.
Well, imagine too, now we're getting these electric cars, right, and everybody's plugging them in, and that's new technology. With new technology comes new problems that nobody expected, and we've seen fires happen from cars just being charged, and those new battery types and stuff like that, and people don't put in the right type of plug, or it's too little, so the electricity of it heats up. And
Well,
it
even the
catches
best
fire.
of them have caught on fire.
Yep.
We've heard about it happening,
Awesome.
and I mean it's really sad, but it is true that it happens. And be prepared. But not only should be prepared. Again, for anyone that didn't hear, just tell them the difference between your fire extinguishers and anyone else's. Go ahead.
Well, the biggest difference is, like we said, ours can be serviceable. So if they do get used, if they lose pressure, they can go through their maintenance, so you can keep them intact or in good working condition. So that this extinguisher might only be a one-time investment for you, but it can help you throughout your life instead of having to continue buying them.
So we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win a fire extinguisher. Our number here is 602-277-5369. We were talking a little bit about how often should a fire extinguisher, a good one, be serviced?
Well, the typical ones you see out there, the ones that are good for the type A and type B and type C fires, the ABC, the little red ones, those should be serviced annually to make sure they're in good condition. But we take them apart every 6 years, and then every 12 years we do hydro test the cylinders to make sure that they're going to be able to keep that charge, keep that pressure in there, because you need the pressure to get the powder out. So we do all that, so it's annually 6 years and then 12 years. But if you're at home, you should look at your extinguishers at least once a month. That way it's still ready to be used, you're familiar with where it's at, and you know how to get there the easiest way, because the more we do something, the less we have to think about it when we really need to do it. But if you only look at it once every 6 years, and there's a fire, you're going to be like, where's that extinguisher? I knew I had one. You're not even going to know where it's at.
Right, most of the time we don't. And our number here is 602-277-5369. I'm letting everyone call, excuse me, throughout the rest of the show, and you're going to get entered in to win one. I also want to talk about people's cars. You should have them in your cars. You've
Yes.
also mentioned before, not only is it for you, and just recently, again, I saw them. They were on, and it doesn't have to be an old car in any
Nope.
way, shape, or form.
Nope.
Unfortunately, these things happen. But what's really good too is if you do have one in your car, and I'm surprised they don't make people, especially with the electric ones, have them, but that you could help somebody out, right?
Yes.
That's another thing too.
Yep. Help somebody else, help yourself. I mean, we see car fires all the time, or trucks. I mean, I've seen 18-wheelers on the side of the road that are just,
I saw one.
Burnt to
It
a
totally,
crisp. Yeah.
it totally.
it's amazing. And we don't know when it's going to happen. That's the whole point of being prepared, so that if it does happen, you are prepared. And like you said, you can stop and help somebody else out. You can help yourself out if you need it. I mean, we just never know when something like this is going to happen.
So again, being prepared, call in here, get yourself entered in to win. Our number here is 602-277-5369. I know that a lot of people like to give gifts. Like I think
Yeah.
people who are real estate agents should, kind of connect with you, because what a great gift to give to somebody, a
Yeah.
good one, something that's going to last for a really long time.
Exactly.
God forbid you need it, but
Yeah.
still. Right, but it happens to
Yeah.
anybody. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, you have a business that, and we don't really talk about that much. We always talk about the fire extinguishers, but I do want them to hear about what your services that you offer.
Yeah, I think we gravitate towards extinguishers because it's more universal.
Universal.
So everybody owns a house, everybody owns a car, everybody owns that. Not everybody owns a commercial building. So a lot of the other services we provide are for commercial facilities. So we're talking fire sprinkler systems, which there are some in homes. If you in Scottsdale and Paradise Valley, they're pretty much in a lot
The
of
ones
those
that are
homes.
really expensive.
But if you don't own a commercial building, you're not going to usually see fire sprinklers or fire alarms or suppression systems. Or if you're not a restaurant, you don't own your own restaurant, you're not going to see the kitchen hoods.
Right.
Or if you're not in the food truck industry, you're not going to see a hood system.
Right.
So it's easier, I think, for us to talk about extinguishers the most, because that is universal,
It's universal.
for everybody that's
Every
listening.
single person really, really ought to have one. And again, it's not just in your kitchen, underneath the sink,
No.
right?
Yeah,
Totally.
The garage, like you said, there's no air conditioning, no heating in your garage. So when it gets hot in the garage. You have paint, you have solvents, you have chemicals in there that are for cleaning or whatever else you have in there. You know, you're just storing stuff in there. Half the time we don't even know it's in there until we move, right?
Exactly, and we realize, but here, another thing is people don't realize that there is a way of doing it correctly.
Yes.
And I want you to talk a little bit about that.
Yes.
Don't aim it right at it.
No,
That's what I found out by
absolutely not.
listening. I love my show. I listen, I learn. Go
And
ahead.
like we said, you know, we charge these extinguishers so that that pressure in it can get the powder out to smother the fire. So if you're aiming towards the fire, you're going to shoot right past it. So you got to aim at the base of the fire, or if it's in the trash can or in a container, aim inside the container. But if you're aiming at the fire, you're going to go right past it. So aim at the base so that it can hit and then cover the fire and smother it.
Now, how many people, when there's a fire, are thinking, I gotta put it at the aim at the bottom? You know, we don't think about those things.
No.
But when you help people out with knowing what to do with these things, and you help them, talk them through it, right?
Correct, yeah. And like I said, you know, earlier this week we just had a big training class for a big construction company because they're on a big project. So once a year they want to be familiar with how to use extinguishers themselves, and they get new people all the time. And you'll see it, like you said, they don't really know, even though sometimes you tell them. That's why I'm saying it's good to use it and try it, because you'll see what people think sweep means or what people mean aim at the base means, and you'll see people miss. I mean, and they will get it out, but at least this way they're like, oh wait, now I can see what you're talking about,
Right.
because listening and doing are two different
Oh,
things.
totally, and especially when you're nervous. We've said that
Yes.
before. The other thing really quickly that I want to talk about too is that a lot of times people don't realize how easily what's inside gets hard.
Yep.
And now guess what? It's not working.
No, that's why you need to break them down every 6 years. That's why you should look at them annually, because just like that baking soda that's in your refrigerator, it's pretty similar to that kind of chemical makeup. And so, you know, if you don't check that baking soda, next thing you know, you go and it's hard. It's like, what the heck? Well, that's the same thing that could happen to these extinguishers and powder in it. That's why they want us to maintenance them regularly so that they don't get a bad reputation. So when people use the extinguishers, they work properly.
Well, I'll tell you something. It's something that it's not just. It's any time that we can have something happen to us, and it's always the worst time. And of course, always at that time are we nervous and we don't know exactly what to do. Michael help
Yep.
you understand that. Also, more importantly, you're going to have one that is a better quality, that is going to last, that is going to be serviced. You can have it serviced, and it's going to do the job better, I bet, as well.
Oh yeah, well, because we're talking about it, you're going to be more familiar. That you're going to do a better job at it.
Well, that's the
yourself.
best part about it, is that you are going to know yourself and knowing that you're safe. And please, folks, I know a lot of people are going to be barbecuing. We
Yeah.
didn't realize this, but just now I'm thinking about it. I think it's Memorial Weekend. It's coming up, or whatever it is coming up that,
Yes.
that we're having, and everybody's barbecuing. And like I said, I just saw one go down. I've seen it happen many, many times, and it's terrible when you get hurt. And look at Jay Leno. Look what happened to him. So call in here. Everyone's getting entered in to win. It's a fire extinguisher, and our number here is 602-277-5369. You can check him out. He's rated with the Better Business Bureau, and he works statewide. It's PassFireProtection.com.